The clock is now ticking on healthcare subsidies that are set to expire, which could send prices skyrocketing for millions of Americans. And D.C. officials still can't get their story straight. Take a look.
I hope we can fix it, but quite frankly, you ought to ask my Republican colleagues. They have the House, they have the Senate, they have the White House.
Let's not have a Republican plan or a Democratic plan. Let's have an American plan. If we address it, I don't care who gets the credit.
Right.
What do they think is going to happen here? How is this going to, what is this? What is going on?
They got to work, and they got to be willing to work across the aisle, and everyone's got to come to the table. Nearly 1 in 4 Americans say that the healthcare system's in crisis. 8 in 10 Democrats say that, 64% of Republicans. So we agree there's a problem. As we've all talked about, 20 million Americans are going to see their premiums skyrocket when these Obamacare subsidies expire. There are 2 what I consider very good proposals on the table that have some bipartisan support. One would temporarily extend these subsidies and give direct payments to consumers so they could use them for health savings accounts and different things. So it's not just going back to the predatory insurance companies. The other would simply be extending these subsidies. But this is a moment where you have to say, going into a new year, coming out of the holidays, Americans are not going to be able to afford just basic things that they expect to keep their health in this country. And I don't care what people's politics are, they've got to come to the table and vote on something.
And today is a very significant day. Today is December 15th. Today is the end of the enrollment period in the ACA if you want to have coverage by January 1st. And, you know, I just think that we can't keep calling ourselves one of the greatest countries in the world if so many of our citizens can't have access to and afford health care. I am one of the people who's on the ACA. I don't get subsidies. My premiums have doubled. And there's so many people for whom the premiums are going to be 3 times as much. I was speaking to a woman who consults with patients, helps folks pick plans. That's what she does for a living. And she was telling me that many of her clients are choosing to go naked. That means they're not going to have insurance. And if that happens, that means people are not going to go to the doctor. They're not going to get mammographies. They're not going to get colonoscopies. And so instead of finding cancers that are stage 1, you're going to find them when they're stage 4. It means people are going to suffer greatly and people are going to die if we let this happen like this. It's terrible.
We've heard so much criticism from the right about these subsidies and not wanting to extend them, but they've been complaining about Obamacare since 2010, and we've never seen anything but concepts of a plan.
Right.
Or that's a direct quote. But I remember when Marjorie Taylor Greene was here, she said Speaker Johnson was on a phone, and she, as one of his Republican colleagues, said, "What is the plan?" He could not even answer that. So what I'm tired of is complaining is easy. So solving things and problem solving is the harder part. Do that. You know we keep bumping into this same wall. Come up with something, because this is going to hurt, again, the people that are struggling the most to even eat right now.
Well, that's the problem. They don't have a plan, right? They don't have concepts of a plan. They don't have a plan. And I agree with you, Anna. Healthcare is a human right. It's just a basic human right, like shelter, like water. And it just seems to me that the fix here is just permanently extend these credits, because you don't have another plan. And if you don't permanently extend the credits, 3.8 million Americans will be uninsured. Those are just the numbers. And so since there is that alternative, why not just do that? And in the meantime, fix it. But to just allow it to lapse, knowing that people will die, that people will suffer, I think it's unconscionable. Where is our humanity? That is what I'm struggling with.
And I think the end goal is to kill Obamacare. Look, I think Republicans have hated Obamacare ab initio from the start. And
why do you think that is?
Well, first, because it's
I don't think they agree with
I think because
universal.
They don't. Actually, it was a Republican idea to begin with, but
at a state level.
Yeah, at a state level,
right?
But like, I do want to be clear, and we don't need to debate this because I know we're out of time, but Obamacare is the law of the land right now. Part of why premiums are up is it created a monopoly in the healthcare system. We've got a few giant insurers that cover everyone. It's made premiums go up. I'm glad it covers more people. I think that is a noble outcome of Obamacare, but we also shouldn't hang on to sacred cows because it has X, Y, or Z person's name on it. People need to come to the table and say, how do we fix a broken system?
That's the thing. It should be
That's what I
political.
mean, is
It's the Affordable Care Act.
Well, when they
Here's
got rid of the
Affordable
when they
Care
got rid of
Act.
the
Yeah.
universal mandate,
Yeah.
then the people that were low risk got out of Obamacare, and that has lifted the premiums. And insurance companies,
I
you know,
just
have
want to
their-
point out
are not angels.
one thing. This is an American issue.
Yeah.
Right.
If you're America first, you need to be healing her people. It's ridiculous. I mean, you can't keep saying America first and then screwing everybody. You just can't keep doing it.